Okay.
So we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod Book Club. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we've read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers.
And punches.
Bunches and bunches and bunches. Really quick, before we hop in to everything, including introductions, we just want to give a quick little trigger warning to everybody, because we read Berserk this week, chapters 1 through 14, and it is very heavy with lots of mature themes. There is rape, violence, sex, boobs, all sorts of things. So we just want you to know, if any of those are trigger warnings for you, we want to make you aware of that before you hear us discuss them. I am your host, HappiLeeErin, aka Erin, and with me are my lovely co-hosts. Introduce yourselves. Also, we have a really special guest, but we'll get to him last because he's really great.
Hi, I'm Watson Kitty, and I really liked Berserk, although I'm not old enough to read it.
I'm Dodger, press hard to continue, and dexterity bonus. And I have 2 cats, and sometimes I like to humiliate them, but it's okay because they're cats.
Perfect.
Hey, I'm Yokurama,
Hey.
and do I have to say something else? I have no
mean-
cats. Our cat, like we let him out to be an outside cat, and somebody took him in.
No! Wait, but when you were cuddling like a few episodes ago?
Yeah. He's not even our cat anymore. What? He's like, I still see him. I still see him walking around, but he has like a collar on, like.
What?
Oh, what?
He betrayed us. He betrayed our family.
They stole your cat?
Why didn't you go and be like, yo, B, that's our cat, and then slap him?
I just don't care. I don't really like cats that much.
So much has happened since last MangaPod.
This is what happens when we don't get together for a few weeks.
Cats get stolen.
Alright.
Dazzle?
What happened?
On the other hand, I am Dr. Dazzle from Fire for Nippon, and last Friday I saved a cat.
Aww.
You're a hero.
Yeah, because we were walking down the street, and this cat just kept following us. It was really cute. It was really small. It was really cute. It was making this whining sound like, I'm like, oh. Then it followed us over a main road, like a huge main road. So then I was like, okay, let's have a look, rang the number, and walked for like 15 minutes to give it back to its owner. And
Aww.
yeah.
Aww.
That's so sweet of you. Alex, did you save a cat?
Did I save a cat?
Yeah, because
No, I didn't
to
save
be
a
on this
cat.
MangaPod, you have to have saved a cat.
Well, shit, I'll buy them, I guess. Sorry, guys, I'm
I
sorry.
hate cats, so...
No, yeah, so, peace. No,
Everybody, welcome our second guest of the MangaPods. 28 episodes,
Hi.
we've only had 2 guests. It's fine, but it's the lovely Mr. Alex, or Octopimp.
hello, I'm Alex, or Octopimp. I do voices on the internet, and I am also an avid manga reader and anime watcher, so I'm really excited to be on the podcast. Yeah!
Yay! If you guys have seen any sort of free parody, it's probably one that Alex did. It's called 50% Off, and it's ridiculously hilarious. You should definitely go to his channel and check it out. It's pretty much the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And really
It
quick,
blew... Wait, hold on, just a sec. It blew my mind when I found out that you made those, by the way.
Really?
I had reblogged those, not realizing it was you. And then I think
Yeah.
it was Aaron who was like, oh, Alex made those. And I was like, what? So,
I'm really flattered. Thank you so much.
good job. Good job, sir.
Thank you. I was really. It came about from just talking with my buddy Brett, and we both were like secret Free fans because we were like, do you watch Free? He's like, no. Do you watch Free? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, me too. And then we high-fived. And so we made it. So it's fun times. So.
I love them. And really quick, before we jump in, just super fast, a shirt went on sale today for 50% off.
Sent out.
Oh, pretty. Holy
Yeah.
It's amazing. Proud to be a Swim-American. If you've seen
Yeah.
the latest episode, it's quite great. So you should definitely go to his channel, and there is a link on the latest video, correct?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
purchase those.
There's I made a whole video where you can links to buy it if you want to. It's available for 1 week. Check it out. My friend Jess did the art. She's a tattoo artist, and so she designed it like an old school tattoo. So we kind of went with that theme, and I think it ended up really cool. So I think if you like it, go check it out. if you
It
want.
looks awesome. They're cool. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna
Super
get one
kawaii.
really hard.
Super
Super
kawaii.
kawaii. Super
Oh.
cute.
Such a kawaii morning.
As I said before, now that we've all been introduced, we what was I? Ball sacks. Gosh dang it! I'm so out of date. I haven't done this in so long. Okay, if this is your first time joining us for a MangaPod before, then you should know that we talk super in depth with lots and lots of spoilers. So before we do that, before you take your leave, if you don't want to be spoiled, we're going to give you a super short description of the manga that we read that will be spoiler free. We usually have wonderful Dr. Daza read it, but since we have a special guest, we are going to let him read it. And then after he has read the spoiler-free description, we're going to give our spoiler-free impressions of the manga so you know whether it's worth your time to go and read it or not. And then afterwards, you can take your leave and then go read it and watch the VOD on my channel later on. So, Mr. Alex, will you read us the description of Berserk, chapter 1 through 14, please?
I absolutely will. And so normally they put on glasses. I don't have glasses, so I'm gonna put on a little something of my own. All right, here we go. I think this makes me look very sophisticated. So
Very professional.
I would get my
Basically
health
like
checked by
growing a
you.
mustache.
I would get my health checked by you.
I think I've
Yeah.
seen Obama wear one of those ones.
yeah, when he's giving a
Definitely.
speech, it looks
Yeah.
very official. Yeah.
Except he had
Okay.
a pink one.
Right. So, Berserk. Guts, known as the Black Swordsman, seeks sanctuary from the demonic forces that pursue him and his woman, and also vengeance against the man who branded him as an unholy sacrifice. Aided by his titanic strength, skill, and sword, Guts must struggle against the bleak destiny, all the while fighting with a rage that might strip him of his humanity. Berserk is a dark and brooding story of outrageous swordplay and ominous fate, in the theme of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Thank you.
Let's go.
Yay! That was awesome. Good
Thank
job,
you.
sir.
Why, thank you.
Yes. All right, really quick, let's give our spoiler-free impressions and if we recommend it or not. Anybody want to go first? I can go first.
Go for it.
I really enjoyed this manga thus far. I've heard that it gets a lot better, and I can definitely see that because it was a slow start for me. It was a very slow build for me to actually get hooked on it, but right before we stopped, I got really, really into it. So I'm super duper excited to get more, and I highly recommend it because there's a lot of themes that are going into it, like a lot of about loneliness and fighting alone and what being good and evil really means, and so I'm really excited to explore that more. So I highly recommend it, and also the art is really cool. I really like the art. I recommend.
I agree. I'll go next. Unlike Erin, I was in like from the start because they gave me the cutesy elf character right off the bat, and he made like really funny faces, and so I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm in. And then the fighting turned out to be really cool, and I was like, all right, I'm in even deeper. And then the characters wound up being so well explored that it really fascinated me, and the fights were really great. The monster creation and design is beautiful. I absolutely recommend it, although, again, there's a trigger warning on this for a reason, so if you are faint of heart, don't read it. There are lots of other great manga that you can read, but this one is really good, I recommend.
Yoko or Daza or Alex?
I'll go last.
Men.
I'm the guest.
Men folk,
Okay, yes.
get on
All
it.
right.
Men!
Go on!
All right, Daza, you want to go first? I usually go first.
I thought we were going to do this in order here, but apparently not.
It's alright, I like to get out of order sometimes.
Well,
You like to
to start off, Berserk starts really intimately, and from that, I was a little bit hooked. I was... Come on,
Daza's the
it was
most
intimate.
honest out of
Daz is the most
everything.
shameless and the most honest. It's great.
I will be honest to say that, like Erin, it was a bit of a stretch to read it to start off with. It is very, very difficult to get into, and it's got like 100 pages for like 3 chapters, and it's just like, this continues going, why? And I'm not a big fan of high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. I'm not a big fan of them. So it was quite hard for me to be like, oh wow, this is actually really great, because the whole setting has trying to push me off of it. But I will say that I was hooked on it. I wanted to read more. I couldn't stop when I was reading, and I was very sad when we had to stop. So
All of us in sync just went.
That's like that's
Every
agreement.
single one of us.
We agree. Yeah, but for me, I don't know why it was hard for you to get into.
Yeah, me neither. I don't get it.
high fantasy. I don't like high fantasy. It's hard.
I guess yeah, all right. But yeah, I was.
We'll get into more of that. Yeah.
I've read it. I've read most of it already. I'm like a few chapters behind on the recent release, but I started reading it a couple years back. But rereading it was nice. It went by a lot faster than I remember it. I don't know, maybe it's because I already read that stuff and I kind of breezed through the panels faster. But yeah, it was very, very good. Just as entertaining as I pretty much read it the first time. A lot of little funny moments in it with Puck.
Oh, the Puck.
Puck and just funny moments in general. I don't want to say any of them right now. We'll talk about them later. And yeah, the second part that we read, the whole flashback thing, that's pretty cool. But I'm just saying, like, the best is yet to come. Like, this is just like the beginning of really the whole story. 14 chapters out of a lot, so definitely recommended. But like Dodger said, it's not for everybody if you're not into the whole like rape thing, the whole guts everywhere,
Don't say it
blood.
like that. If you're not into rape, maybe you should... that's not
Yeah.
the right way to put this.
Listen,
I didn't
you
do it
want
like
to you want to redo on that one?
do you like?
If you're not
restart?
okay, if you're not
He's about to say it again. He's like so proud.
If you're not into rape, wait a minute. That's not right either.
You're not in the oh.
So Yoku, if you like Berserk, does that mean you're into rape?
no, if you're not into reading about rape, that's correct.
Oh no.
It's okay. We get your point.
If rape,
If you are easily upset by it,
okay,
don't
it's
read.
a very hard thing to word.
If rape ain't your thing,
I just put myself like on the spot like crazy. You know, just like
you got so red. Oh,
All jumped on you at once. I'm sorry.
Moving on.
moving on.
Wait a minute. No. That's the wrong way to put this.
What about you, Alex?
Well, I've been a fan of Berserk since high school. I was already caught up with it
Oh.
by the time. I mean, I own all the OVAs. I have the whole anime. I've read the whole manga before, but I'm huge. Like, I was totally willing to read it again just because I hadn't read Black Swordsman arc or Golden Age in a long time. So, I mean, I really like Berserk. It's very shonen, but in a I like to refer to it as gothic shonen,
Oh.
because that's kind of what it is. It's, I mean, you know, it's very like our invincible hero, you know, who can overcome just about anything, which is a very classic kind of shonen trope. But I love it. I'm a sucker for it, absolutely 100%. And like, it starts you off with a bang, literally, and it's like,
You're porking a lady.
anyway,
Which is
so-
not really a lady.
but she's not really a lady.
Okay.
But I like, the thing to me is honestly a little contrary to what Dodger said, is I think Puck feels really out of place, but I think he's necessary, because
Absolutely.
if he wasn't there, it would be the most depressing start to just about, like, it would literally just be Guts walking around being sad with nobody to talk to. So like, if he had like a human sidekick or somebody who was kind of like normal with him at the start there, it would just be like, what is going
What's
on?
happening? Yeah.
And
Not only that, but like, actually, no. Wait, we're still in.
Oh yeah, we're still in anti-spoils.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
as soon as like
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm one of those people that
Writing it
I
down.
love Berserk. It's great. Super recommend. If you're into like action, if you're into I would like, if you're into that kind of like darker gothic fantasy kind of stuff, then yes, it's very bleak, but in not always a depressing way. There's always kind of some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. So, but you know, definitely recommend. if you're into that.
Yeah. Awesome. So that is as spoiled. Obviously, everybody recommends it. So you should definitely go check it out so you do not get spoiled. Because from here on out, the next 45 minutes are going to be full of spoilers up the yazoo. So you don't want to be here for that. Yeah?
I didn't tweet about it. I didn't tweet we were doing this. Keep talking. I'm just
Okay, guys.
type
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. All you guys, if you don't care about spoilers, you are free to stick here in the chat and chat with us. We have a lovely mug going on every day and doing all that thing. So let's hop in, guy. Oh, god damn it!
What is it, Aaron?
Yoku!
Oh no!
Everything's going wrong.
Whatever. He'll be back. He got too embarrassed about the rape comment and just left.
Oh, I was assuming that he just hated that shirt so much.
I don't know.
Yeah, amazing.
Sure.
It's an
Where did you
amazing
get that
shirt.
shirt? I want it.
Redbubble. They have it on Redbubble. It's like I was talking about Aaron with it at work, and I was like, I wonder if they make a shirt of that. And I just searched for what for Jeanne face shirt, and then this came up on Redbubble, and I was like, yes, that.
I feel like I need that, but people would be confused because I'd just be like walking around saying my own name to people.
You'd have to be.
Hi, Yoku.
I thought it was going good.
It was going great. Let's get in. Yoku's gone. Okay, guys. So let's hit on a little bit how Dazzle and I thought it was a slow start, and you three, Alex, I don't know if you agreed with Dr. Yoku or me and Dazza, but I kind of want to touch on that since we had like differing opinions.
Sure.
It. For me, I'm not sure what it was, but it wasn't until the flashback that I got really hooked. Like the end, or right before the flashback, when he's walking away from the girl. Like, Dodger, you and I were talking about this.
Oh my
when
God.
he's walking away from the girl
Best
after he was super, super mean to him, like, yeah, I'd come back and kill me for revenge later. And then he turns away and he's super, super sad. He looks really depressed. Like, that moment right there was when I was like, okay, I like him as a character. Like, before that, he, to me, for some reason, just wasn't coming off as having any character depth for some reason. And also, I think I was disappointed because I was expecting a lot more unique violence. Like, I was expecting, like,
It's
right
Yoku's
off the
fault.
bat. Yeah,
Yoku was
Yoku.
like, your brain's not going to be able to handle all the violent shit.
I
you're
wanted-
about to see."
I wanted, like,
I was saying that for the
intestines.
later parts. This is
I
like when they were
was
at 14
wanting
chapters.
intestines being pulled out of
But
like
don't
the
tell us
nose
that,
and
Yoku.
squeezed everywhere, and arms being pulled from sockets. I wanted that, and
There
all
was some of that.
I got was the heads being slashed in half over and over again.
Did
Like,
you not see how that dude grabbed the head and he's just like, come on. Where do you else
it
do you see
didn't do
that?
it for me. It didn't do
way
it for
too
me.
What is wrong with you?
But I don't know, like, it just, it was just a really slow start, but once I hit the flashback, I could not stop. To the point where I actually didn't, like, after I was 2 volumes ahead, I realized I was probably too far ahead. And so, and so I read way further ahead than we were supposed to, but it's so good. Like, now I just don't want to stop. But it was a slower start for me, because of those reasons.
I'd have to agree with Aaron. It's kind of like once they have the mother and the tree and all that kind of stuff, it was just like, really? I've got to continue reading this? You know, it just, the characters weren't really well defined. The story kind of really wasn't really explained all that well. You have this weird fairy that seems like Navi from, what's it called, Zelda.
Zelda.
Hey,
Not that annoying. Come on.
Listen!
Hey, Guts! Don't cut that guy in half.
Hey!
Probably don't want to do that. Okay, don't listen to me.
I did it!
But then
Actually,
once
I
the,
want
like,
to touch on that. Okay.
okay. But yeah, once
We'll
it's
touch.
kind of like goes into the whole like actually gives I was gonna call him Gertz. Until it gives Guts like full backstory, I'm just like, wow, he's actually really, really awesome and cool, and you kind of understand why he is as he is.
Yeah, so
And
you
then
started
it's like,
liking
oh,
it after the flashback started, pretty much, and he started
Yeah.
getting development.
I
There
think
was
that
not
was-
much development throughout those like.
I
first-
think that was the
Exactly.
start of the Golden
Yeah,
Age arc,
but-
wasn't it?
It's the first part is Black Swordsman, and then it's Golden Age. Golden Age is
Yeah,
that
the
second part.
flashback is the where the flashback
Is
starts, isn't it?
Golden Age. Yeah, that's where
Sorry.
the flashback starts.
Yeah, so the start of Golden
So it's
Age.
kind of it's just like to reintroduce the characters, but
Yeah.
it's kind of how when you start an anime sometimes, and it starts with like a part that happens way later on in the series, and you're kind of watching there, like okay, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of anime like that. You don't have to put that one on spot.
Wait, which one?
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, after the whole flashback thing, after you find out everything, because there was that whole thing, the five god hand, and then he called one of the god hand Griffiths. So you're kind of like, what's going on? Shit, So once more of that stuff is explained, and it goes back already to that moment where it started with the manga, then it's gonna be a lot more interesting. You would find those moments more interesting than you did before finding out God's story.
I feel like the reason why it wasn't a slow start for me is because I'm a huge sucker for like cool monsters and cool fights, and I was really engaged by the fights and the way that the demons looked. I was just like, oh, this is so interesting, and like seeing the way that whatever it was that was kind of their vice was personified, and in the kind of animal that they took shape of, and how that was skewed. I really, really liked that. But also, the thing that I wrote down about Puck, I felt like I couldn't say before. Puck is necessary to establish Guts' inner conflict. That's how I felt at the beginning. That, like, without Puck, Guts would just seem like this, like, crazy rager. But every time he had that like really excited anger, Puck was there to be like the empath that was like, something really gross is happening inside of you. Like, I really liked that, because then when we had that moment right before the flashback where we saw him really sad, that was the first time that we actually saw him look conflicted, and I was like, oh god, what awesome development. Oh, barf. I was so happy. I loved it. And then like it made it so that once we got into the backstory, I was so jazzed for it. I really cared about hearing how he developed into this person. So I thought that all of that, even if you guys felt like it was slow, I felt like all of that was completely necessary to establish him as like conflicted and just a super badass.
I agree with that, because like, I mean, if we hadn't had that, like, I don't think I would have liked it either if it jumped right into the flashback. Like, I am glad that setup was there, but it was just like reaching that point. I was like,
It's not that it wasn't necessary. It was that it just wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
So I know a little backstory about why Berserk starts the way it does, because he didn't actually know what he wanted to do with the manga when he started it. So he didn't. He had no idea where it was going to go at the beginning. So he started writing about Guts, and originally there wasn't going to be a flashback, but people wanted to know more and more about him. And so he wrote the Golden Age arc then as soon as people were like, wow, Guts is cool, we want to know more about him. And he got all this feedback and was like, okay, well, let's learn more about Guts. And then he developed him into more of a character. So basically, I like the way it starts, although, like I said, I don't care for Puck all that much, because I feel like he seems... It's his art, it's the way he's drawn, and it's the way that he's the only character, and I understand because he's an elf, he's the only character in the entire manga at that whole beginning, that does the anime face. Like, nobody else really does that at the beginning, and it just seems like he was literally photoshopped into this manga, and it's just like, and because when there's like close-ups of him and he's a little more realistic, then it's fine. But when he's like exasperated and he has kind of like that kind of like little face thing, that anime sound, like it that's the sound, and it's just like it feels really theme breaking to me, and that's one thing that, and this is going to be total. This is going to be totally personal. A personal thing is, I don't like it when a manga breaks its theme unless that's the point. So I feel, if you know what I mean, because I feel that, but that's my beef with Puck. But other than that, I really like how it starts, and I totally recognize that Puck is necessary for this manga because he is like the only happy person or remotely happy person, and even then, Guts just completely breaks his spirit by the end of it. You know, like he's kind of an optimist at first. He's like, oh, gee, thanks, Guts, for saving me. And then by the end, he's just like, well, you're a complete douchebag. But like, I mean, that's really what it is. But we find out that there's a reason for that. And so I think I love how Berserk starts, because it really draws you in, and it kind of is like, wow, Guts is this total badass, but I want to know more about him because he's kind of mysterious. And I think Puck is supposed to sort of be our point of view. Like, geez, Guts, why you sad all the time? And he's just like, because I just am. But it's like, well, why? You know? And then at the end of Black Swordsman, when he's walking away from the Apostle, you know, you see him crying because oh my God, he has emotions. And I mean, there's other points when he's sort of starting to express emotions, but you know, it's like, I don't know. I think it's a strong start, and then you know, it hooks you on wanting to know more about Guts, and then he gives you exactly that. So, yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is Puck a guy?
Yes, Puck is a guy.
Yeah.
Because that butt does not look like a guy's butt.
He's got like
He's got a really good feminine figure.
Yeah.
There, and I'm just like, well,
That's a booty.
He do. Yeah.
I guess that's how elves are.
Yeah,
That's how elves do it.
The elves are super androgynous, and the one thing I kind of really like, if I can kind of like go off the beginning a little bit, is
jump around whatever you want.
You mentioned that it's high fantasy, and it starts as high fantasy, but then Golden Age goes completely the opposite direction and goes into gothic fantasy, because there's no mention. In fact, all the supernatural stuff is kind of like talked about a little bit, and when they meet what's his name, that demon in the catacombs, that's like totally like, what, like,
wait, that might be
sorry. Sorry.
Alex! You have to get
It's just it's what I think it comes up next.
It's very close.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, sorry. I'm the worst.
Alex, you're banned. You're banned from the podcast.
You're banned.
You're banned. But no. So anyway, well, you know that demons exist in the world because you've seen it in the beginning. So that's not really a spoiler. But at the beginning, so you know that somehow there's apostles now. But the whole thing is, then you get back to this like more kind of almost like military strategy manga. Like, it's less about fighting demons and more about like, oh, we're gonna flank them, and you know, we're gonna outmaneuver them, and we're gonna, you know, fight them in combat and stuff like that. And it's nothing really like supernatural is happening, and I kind of like that because they don't really talk about that at all, and except for, you know, they're like, so you're just like, where did all the demons go? Like, we just saw him fight this demon and all this crazy stuff in Black Swordsman, and now all of a sudden it's like, why are they talking? Why don't they just use magic? Well, because they don't have any. Yeah. And so it's like, well, why? And then so that sort of draws you in a little more, like we went backwards, but what happened between Golden Age and Black Swordsman that we don't know? And I really like that I really like that he does that, and it's an unspoken thing that that is really cool. It's like not even written about anywhere. They don't talk about it. They're just like, you know that demons exist, and now they don't, but we're back in time. So it's like, okay, so let's get to the point where that happens. So that's one thing that I think is super cool, that is an implied plot point that is just really an interesting way that he did that. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
That was what I had to say about it.
Let's talk about, let's jump in since we're kind of talking about the flashback. Let's talk about Griffith.
Griffith.
Let's talk about Griffith just standing majestically in the sun, bathing
with his hair just.
Guts, I want you.
Guts, you are mine. You belong to me.
He said that like 2 or 3 times.
You homo?
And I love. I can't remember her name, but I love that the other girl that's involved.
Casca.
Yeah, she's like, he's never said he wanted anyone before.
And I was like,
oh god.
Casca is my anime waifu. I'm just gonna say right now. Like, I have an unabashed crush on Casca. She is like an awesome, strong female character that just kicks ass and doesn't give a shit, and I totally love Casca. So I have a soft spot in my heart for her.
Aw.
She's great.
Aw.
She's awesome.
I really like her. She's
Yeah.
kick-ass.
She fucking rules. Casca's
Griffin made her like use her body to warm Guts up. They're
I
insane.
love-
so messed
Listen.
up.
Yeah,
But
so messed up.
after it was done, she was like, "Yo, fuck you."
Yeah.
I love how she's like, screw you.
Yeah, there wasn't even any like tsundere, like it's not like I like you or anything, Baka. She was just like, fuck you. Get out of here.
Came up and like punched him in his wound. He just,
Yeah.
"What the
Step
I love
back."
that she just is. Like,
Griffin
she's
should've
like,
killed you."
she's not like, I don't know, she has she's very feminine, like, she has feminine features and all of that, but like, she just doesn't care. She's kick ass.
She's super strong.
I love that she's just cool. She's a
Yeah,
really
she's
cool
hella
female.
strong.
I'm really excited to learn more about
There's
her.
some
Just
stuff
because we
later.
just started.
There's some stuff later where you're just like, fuck yeah, Casca. She's just like, you're like literally like when I read that part, I was just like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
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 Cool. I also love going back to Griffith. I love the trope of there being a super, super manly dude who's like, no one can touch me, I'm so badass. And then they get just like wailed on by a super pretty guy.
Yes.
It's my favorite thing.
I
Yeah.
love
It's
it.
like, this guy, whatever. And then he just gets like annihilated. It's like, yay.
And that's what, and I mean, Griffith's kind of a Gary Stu a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
it's
It's
interesting.
like too perfect.
I
Yeah.
like that he's just really smart at combat. It's not that he's just like really.
I was stretching.
But no, he's just like really smart. He's just like a good duelist, and he like knows how to use the situation, and that's just kind of cool. That is also like that's just such a counterpoint to Guts, who's just like, I'm literally just going to punch you and you'll explode. But this is not Fist of the North Star, so but whatever. But he's
If only.
yeah, if only he's it's just such a cool counterpoint. And they become bros, which is awesome. So
What I like.
Griffith is amazing, especially. It's really hard for me to even talk about this.
Right?
Because this is
Since I read
this
ahead,
is
I'm just-
barely scratched the surface. It's just like so tiny what happens, and like you barely saw Griffith. Like the
No,
stuff
we
that
saw
happens
all of
is
Griffith,
just-
though.
Yeah, we saw.
It was nice.
Yeah, you
just
did.
saying.
No.
That's-
But it's so hard because it's just get like the stuff that happens. Griffith is very, very important to this whole
Yes.
Golden Age arc.
Yo.
He's as equally as important to as a Guts.
Well, he's
So-
become a god hand, so he's got to be important.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
What? Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just gonna touch on that, like, because when we see him, he just kind of like oozes badassery, but also this like sense of, what is it, innocence? I guess, like purity, like just how he's like bright and like colored differently, and like always stands in the sun, kind of a thing. Like
Yeah.
when he's
Right.
there's that whole like
At
imagery
first-
with him.
At first, I thought you were talking about when we saw him as a god hand, and I was like, I disagree.
yeah.
I saw your
No.
face. I was like, I don't know why she's gonna disagree with me. But
Well, he started wearing the whole black thing. He was like,
But, like-
wearing the white armor, and then he goes
He-
to the black.
Yeah, so like, but like, it's interesting. That's one of the things that hooked me too. When Guts recognized him, and then when he showed up in the flashback, I was like, what changed? That's where the whole like good and evil like side of things comes in with like what is good and what is evil. Like, what changed in him, or like was it from the beginning that he had this intention to do that? Like, so it was just very interesting. And then like the whole sacrifice thing that comes into
That's what-
play.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's what intrigues me
when
so
is
much.
this what is going to happen? Like, how is what I don't know.
Well, like,
So-
I mean, I'm assuming that
Those are my feelings.
guys don't spoil anything.
Yeah,
What I'm assuming is going to happen is Griffith will sacrifice Guts,
Guts,
right? And then
yeah.
Guts will get marked, and Guts is like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to die," and then just like devotes his life to like
that's
Kill
what I
the
feel is gonna
revenge.
happen.
for
Yeah.
all of this.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. Like it's really interesting that you talk about him oozing badassery because like I mean it's already kind of a spoiler when he calls him Griffith when he sees him as Femto and he's like fuck you Griffith, and then you see him in the flashback and you're like, oh, this guy becomes that guy.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's what really that's pretty intriguing. But what's interesting is that Griffith is a very complicated character. People like to kind of paint him as black or white, but he's very interesting. he seems it's hard to explain without spoiling it, and I won't. But if you keep reading Berserk, you're gonna be just as intrigued with what Griffith is gonna do as what Guts is gonna do, because you're gonna Guts is the main character, and so you're like, oh, like we're following this guy around, but then you start to learn more about Griffith, and you're just like, whoa, like what is up with this guy? And so it's really cool. Like he definitely writes it so that all characters you see are very interesting and very compelling, and you, even if they're antagonists, you really want to learn more about them. So
What you gonna do, B?
yeah, hell yeah.
That car agreed.
Yeah.
Earlier when I was making a video, sorry, this is off topic. Earlier when I was making a video, like 2 or 3 minutes in, the loudest sirens I've heard since I've moved here just all went by, and it went on for so long, and then like a couple minutes later, all of the dogs downstairs started howling. And I was like, oh damn it!
It's like, wow.
Oh no.
No.
Your day.
What I was gonna say, I totally forgot. My friend Steve actually, those scar tattoos you can get? He got one of the Brand of Sacrifice. He's that big of a Berserk fan.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Damn.
It's super badass. It's
That's cool.
insane. Yeah, he's a hardcore Berserk fan.
Oh, that's so cool. I loved when we started the flashback, like just learning Guts' background and his history, and it's messed up. Like that guy, like just from
Yeah, he
even
was
from the
born from a
beginning.
dead body.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the beginning,
Yeah.
and then he learns how to train with the big sword, which makes more sense with like why he uses a giant.
Why he
sword
uses a
later
sword
on.
that's like as long as he is, yeah.
And then when he gets raped, and then when he kills his rapist, I was like, I reread that, like,
Whoa.
it was just so deep. I was blown away, because there's not, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've read a manga where, like, rape has been depicted like that. Like, I don't think I've read a manga ever. And, like, I thought it was handled very well. Not, I mean, the best it could. Tastefully.
Yeah.
And then when he kills his rapist, it's just that impact is so strong, just the look in his eyes. And he's so young. He's like 6.
Yeah, he's really young at that point. And like, and it also, I can't remember the name of his father figure.
Gambino.
Gambino, yeah.
And sounds like a pizza.
They created a situation where, like, where you just feel so bad for Guts too, because Guts like looks up to him so much, and he's like the only dad that he's ever had. And even though like we as the viewer know that Gambino is just this shit stain, like Guts won't let go of him, and you're just like, no, Guts, like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like when he his legs are all like gone, and Guts is still like
still trying, and then he tries to kill him. You're just like, just the emotion and the sympathy that brings out of the reader is so well done. Like that writing is very good.
It's
because like sorry, I was just gonna say, because they establish at that point already, they've established Guts as somebody who can just kill without caring. Like just if he needs to kill somebody, he'll kill them. And the way that he grovels with Gambino is like, there's such a good juxtaposition there, but it does make you just
it really showed the character development for Guts, I thought, as well, going from like this innocent kid to, well, being Guts, and the loss of innocence in the eyes, and I thought the full characterization that was perfect. Honestly,
I agree. And sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Gambino can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Seriously.
Gam.
It's like reading it now, because I think the last time I read Golden Age was years ago, but now reading it again, it just makes me so upset, because just like the emotional manipulation that Gambino has over Guts, it's just like it gives him those crazy trust issues, like it's this man that he trusted, and then he finds out that he did sell him, and it's just like, it's just like, it like hurts, to read that. It's just like that feeling, because Guts trusts Gambino implicitly, and he just sees him as like this protector and this caretaker, and it's like he goes through that thing where he finds out, and he's like, no way, there's no way that's true.
Yeah, he was completely in denial. Even when he killed that guy, and that guy still, like, his rapist still said, like, he's like, Gam.
He's like,
shoved the sword in his mouth.
Exactly, because he didn't want to hear it, and it's just so heart-wrenching, because you're just like, you feel so sympathetic for Guts, because he's just had, Guts had a hard life, but it's like he you just feel that horror, and he confronts him, and he's like, he just implicitly trusts this guy, and you just get so upset because you feel sorry for him in this horrible situation.
Yeah, for me, it was especially like when he, like right after it's happened and he comes out of the tent and Gambino just like acts like absolutely nothing's wrong. And he's
hungry.
like,
Yes.
Make me a meal.
and he's like, oh, well then he doesn't know. Like he's not acting like it's wrong or that anything happened, so he doesn't know.
Like,
because he wants to believe so badly that Gambino cares and would care.
Yeah, and it's like that childish, like naivete. There you go. Blah, 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 blah. Like he has that still in him, and like the childish nature. It's like he can't accept bad. Like he takes it as it comes, and so like he's just like, oh, okay, well obviously, like he still has that trust and that ability to trust. And then after Gambino, we just see it like when he goes and like it's just fighting in all the different mercenary groups, and he's just dead in the eyes, and like he can kill anything, but he just doesn't care. Like he's just you see the life go out of him after he kills Gambino, and then it comes back when he meets Griffith again.
And then he meets Griffith.
So it's like and like you start to see him come back, but just that character development is written so well, like and so believably. Like nothing with it feels forced or like unnatural at all.
And I totally agree, and I think what it's that whole thing when you're talking about him being dead in the eyes. I think it's just that he doesn't trust anyone, you know? Like, he's just kind of like, well, everyone I thought was on my side hates me. So, and he was, and I think what really changed that is he's like, well, at least I have Gambino. You know, he sticks up for me when the others kind of pick on me in the band of mercenaries or whatever. And then when the trust was gone, he's just like, well, fuck it, I'm by myself. There's nobody but me. And that's why he has such a hard time trusting anyone. And then he meets Griffith, and he's like warms up to him.
He was pretty much ready to die, but his like survival instinct, you know, when all those wolves were attacking him, like he was completely dead in the face, and it looked like he was just barely like moving his arm, you know, to kill those wolves, and they were just kind of like falling on his sword. He just wanted to survive. It was just complete instinct. And he's like, man, I should have died. What am I gonna do now? Oh.
Just like moving from place to place. Who has read Vinland Saga? Dodger, I know you have. Has anyone else?
It's one of my favorites.
Okay, I felt so many connecting. Wait, none of you guys have?
What? We have to read that.
What the balls? Yeah. Okay, next year that is getting like first thing on the list. But there were so many themes. We won't get into it now. But there was a lot of themes and stuff that happened that reminded me of Vinland Saga a lot. But so we won't talk about that since nobody else is. You know, Dodger and I can just talk about that later. It's fine. Yeah. Friends.
That is true. Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. Let's what should let's talk about art. Let's talk about the art really quick, or not even really quick. Let's talk about it in depth with spoilers, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on character design?
Go for it, Dazzle.
I'll go first.
Go!
I thought it was great, honestly. I was actually a bit sad because some of the pages were like they were color pages, and they were just scanned in black and white. And I'm thinking these color pages look amazing, but just the shading, the character designs themselves, besides Puck being very different, I thought
whatever haters.
I thought they were
Puck
just
is
really,
adorable.
they were really deep and they were dark, and they fitted the tone of the entire manga perfectly. I thought Guts looked absolutely perfect. I thought Griffith, despite me thinking it was actually a chick to start off with, was actually decent. I soon learned that it wasn't a chick.
That butt.
You belong to me, Guts.
The booty.
The booty. The
Got
tight
booty,
little
right?
booty.
You got the booty.
I like your guts.
But for a fantasy manga like this, I think that it does it perfectly. I was reading and thinking, this doesn't feel like a manga, if you know what I mean. Like, we read so much manga that it's just like, this is manga type. But
we can
this one,
tell when they're actually different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually different, and it's well done different. It's not like really crappily different, and it's really good. I like it. The art is amazing, and I want like posters on my wall of scenes that aren't rapey.
You want Griffith's butt shining in the sun, hanging off your wall.
No, I want
Who doesn't?
Puck and Griffith. Right.
Puck and
Just like,
touchy butt.
like
Touching
can they
butts! Touching butts!
can they just be like looking over their shoulder like,
Look,
I want that.
They got the
Oh my gosh.
I want
Somebody needs to draw that
I want
MangaPod,
to-
touching butts.
2 Dakimakuras, one of Griffith, one of Puck, and I can just put them together, and they'll be touching butts.
Yes. Beautiful.
And Guts will be standing from like behind.
Yeah.
And then you just have Guts looking really sad in the background, just
He's
Yeah.
jealous. He'll be
I want to
jealous.
touch butts too.
Guts, Guts, I thought you liked me.
I love that every voice you do, Yoku, is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's the only
Guys,
voice like.
I thought you liked me.
Guys,
I thought yes,
What do you guys think about? What do you guys? Oh, we're still talking about art.
That's right.
Oh, art.
What's up?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what about Guts' arm? We
Oh.
didn't talk about his arm.
I totally
That's-
forgot about that.
That's
I think
you
it's
realize
dope.
that you're-
So cool.
It's the only time that we've seen like guns is his arm, right?
But it's
He has
like
huge guns.
Yeah.
a cannon. It's a cannon. Little mini portable cannon.
Yeah.
Released by
Yeah, I think that that's super cool, and I
Yeah.
like that we've seen him like, all right, gunpowder and the ball.
Yeah, that's so cool. And he has to like reload.
It's like go through
So
the
Yeah.
process.
He pulls the thing with his teeth to make it. That's always pretty sweet.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
pulls. Oh my god, the teeth pull. So
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool how he used. Remember when his arm was like messed up? Right.
Yeah.
Before he used like his teeth to pick up his sword and his arm
Oh my
to like
god,
balance the
yeah.
sword to cut that guy. That was
Straight up One Piece shit happening.
Yeah, that's so shonen.
Zorro.
I was like, in your mouth,
Just like Sam
in your
Alive.
mouth.
And an LADY, Nami's not shy. Okay,
Okay, yeah, more art, like art stuff. I personally liked it. I liked it a lot. I loved the grungy, Alex, like what you were saying, gothic feel. to
yeah,
it.
gothic
Now that you
fantasy.
said that, I was like, yeah, that I can definitely see that. Like, I really enjoyed Guts' character design, especially, and like the monsters looked so detailed and cool. Like the first like demon girl that he's like
Banging.
doing in the vag.
Right,
like,
right.
She
Yeah.
even looked really cool.
It was so funny. Like she was like, "I got you where I want you," and then he's like, "I got you where I want, you."
Welcome to
So he
MangaPod.
knew?
We talk about demon badges.
We talk about
Wait,
demon
so-
vag.
So did he
Basically.
know? So he knew she was a demon when before that he started.
I think the
Vagina?
important thing is, did they both finish?
Oh, I don't know.
That is
Why
important.
wouldn't they?
They-
Why wouldn't they?
They got each other whether they wanted them. So.
That was him finishing. Guts just there was a misunderstanding. He didn't know that's what that is.
That's how she.
That's what happens when a demon finishes. You see, you
They just
learn
go
all
in their
this.
final form.
Spoiler alerts later in the series.
Frieza.
I think I'm
Frieza!
now stuck
Oh my!
Whoa.
Oh, that is not what I want to think about.
Now I think
My young ears.
Frieza
there's a lot of
Frieza
Frieza
dick.
just yelling. He's just like ah. So that's what happens.
I'm gonna be
MangaPod.
worried next time now that my next part will just like sprout out this thing. Oh.
It's gonna be
I
hot
miss-
as a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, Aaron. I love the art. I love. God, the monster design is so cool. I'm sorry, I know I keep saying it, but just like, especially with the gore. Is that weird?
Huh?
No, not
Like,
at all.
like every time something was slashed and there were just guts everywhere, like the guts along with the body and just the way that it was all drawn was so dark and awesome. It's just like, dang, this is some brutal fighting happening right now. but it
Very
was so
detailed.
Yeah.
great. It was very detailed. Yeah.
Mhm.
I loved that. I loved like when they were in talking to the god hands and that guy's like half of a face was just laying there as he was asked, whether or not he would sacrifice his daughter for another chance
Yeah.
and all that. And I was like, this is crazy because you looked disgusting to me a minute ago and now I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's good art. That's good art when you can take like a really gross looking monster and then contort its face so that the reader is like, oh, this poor guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's just
caught-
half a head.
He caught his wife, boning everybody in town.
That was so sad.
He got really sad. And then he
You'll never
sacrificed her to the demons.
Listen, that's how I deal with infidelity. I don't know about you guys.
Sacrifice
David?
the demon. My God.
Oh man.
I was really glad that he was willing to go to hell instead of sacrifice
He
his
got
daughter.
He got NTR'd hard. Thank you so much for that. Afro Sorrow, thank you for that. But no, I was gonna say on the art, as a bit of a counterpoint, and I say this with the most love possible, I actually think the art is a little tough to look at the beginning, but it improves very quickly. It gets, like, the first couple chapters are a little rough for my taste, but then it gets awesome. He improves really fast. So it's almost a non-issue, like, for me, like, because I mean we're talking within like the first 4 chapters, you can already see an improvement. So it's just like, you know, there are other chapters that take a little while to kind of get their footing, but he definitely, like, and I totally agree with the interestingness of the gore, and so like. When he cuts into is the Baron or the Duke, I don't remember. He cuts into his head, and just like, you have to like imagine that he's making up all this internal stuff inside, and you can see all the demon innards, and it's just like, he had to draw all that. That's crazy. Or like when he's like,
and remember, he drew that when Google wasn't around as well.
Yeah, so. that was all up here.
That's all anatomy books right there.
And when he's like this crazy corpulent monster, like running through the whole, like the air, like the room, and it's like taking up the whole room. That's so cool. You know, it's like a body spilling out of a body, spilling out of a body, and it's just like, what is this? The monster designs are really.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah. They're very interesting and cool. So
one of my favorite part actually that we read was that monster. You know how he like kind of like gave a little part of him to that guy, so he like, I guess, goes and gets revenge.
Yeah, and then
that
this,
guy's like
centipede came out.
Yeah. It's so
Shit,
funny how at the end he's like, it doesn't matter how much you cut me. You have to like cut my head, you know, to kill me. You can't kill me if you just keep cutting me randomly. And then God's just like sticks his sword right in his head.
It's like, thank you for telling me.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
Thanks.
That was great.
Let's since we're coming up on 8:30. Let's wrap up and give our final thoughts, and then shout out our stuff and what we're doing next week. So, does anybody, Alex, do you want to go last?
Sure, I'll go last.
Okay. I can say really quick, mine is, I would give this rating a, I'm gonna give it an 8.5, hard 8.5.
A hard 8.5.
Because while I thought it started out slow, I am now so intrigued, and since I accidentally read further, that I am so, I'm giving it 8.5 Griffith butts.
It's just.
Oh wow. That has to be like one of them has to be like half
half-toned Griffith butt. But yeah, no, I thought it was fantastic, and I am absolutely so excited to read more, and I think that it is it's definitely the most unique and different manga that we have read on MangaPod thus far. I think it's fantastic. Y'all should definitely check it out.
I will also give it an 8.5. Hard or flaccid?
Flaccid Griffith butt? Or other side of Griffith?
Just for the joke, I'm going to give it a flaccid 8.5. And, yeah, I totally agree. I think that it's fantastic. I really love the art. I love the story. I think that the development of the characters is fantastic. And I didn't want to stop reading it. Honestly, I wanted to keep going. But I didn't because I knew I'd get confused about where we stopped. So I held back. But, yeah. Definitely read it if you can handle it.
You can handle. If you're not into rape, don't do it.
Oh God.
Speaking of that, Yoku, do you want to give?
Terrible about that.
Whoa!
You guys know what I mean.
We know. We're just giving you a hard time. We love you.
We love you, Yoku. It's okay.
Yes.
I think I would probably give it a 7 out of 10 for these 14 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just know how much better it gets.
So you want to give
wanna,
yourself
like,
space?
Yeah, I don't want to give it like, I'll give this an 8.5 or like a 9 or something, because later on I can't really raise the score.
10.5!
10.5 Griffith butts!
Hard of 11!
But, so I'm going to go with a 7 for now, because I think that's a pretty good score for this, for these 14 chapters, because we got to see, you know, the whole like Black Swordsman part and then the start of the flashback, which is pretty sweet, seeing Griffith and all. And, it's very good. Yeah, like if you can handle it, if you think you want to see all these like guts and stuff, gushing out it, then definitely give this one a read, because it's definitely interesting very unique, good looking, and one of my favorite mangas of all time. So, yep.
Word.
Tazza?
I'm going to give it 7.5, only because, as Joki said, it can get better. So I'm going to, as well, give myself some space. But it is 7.5 androgynous booty butts.
Did what?
Elf booties all day.
Oh yeah.
All day, all day, all day, all day.
Oh, yeah. And the enjoyment rating is going to be an 8. Because even though it was lower at the start, I was hooked, and like Dodger, I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to keep going
I
and
didn't
going
want
and
to
going.
stop either. Include me.
No, Aaron.
We
No, you
can't
didn't say anything.
stop, and we
Hello.
won't.
Won't stop.
Hello.
Alex?
Can't you see it's Alex on the night? Can you see it's sweet? Yeah.
Well, I can't follow that. So, no, but
Done.
I give Berserk a 9 Cascas out of 10. Because this is super biased. I have a very soft, like I said at the beginning, I have a super soft spot in my heart for Berserk. I love this manga. I love the series. I love everything about it. I love the characters and the setting and the art and the manga. And it's just really great and very engrossing story. And it's a world that is built it's a fantastic setting that is constructed, and you see it constructed before you, as well as the characters who you learn about and learn to care about right from the start. And it's very intriguing. So I give it 9 Cascas out of 10. It's me.
Yay!
Yeah.
You'll have to join us. You'll have to join us again when we read it. We read it a second time in November.
Sure. And if you ever do a
Yeah.
JoJo's one, let me know, because I'm all over that.
Yeah,
We're
JoJo's.
never going to do it. We don't want you to have.
Oh.
We're actually taking Berserk off the schedule, so you don't come back
Oh,
later.
no.
No, we loved having you.
Thanks for having me here.
So yes, overall, you guys should definitely 10 million Griff of Casca butts check out Berserk. It's great. Okay.
If you're over the age of 18.
If you're
check
over
it
the
out.
age of
Yeah.
18 and
Yes.
are prepared. Yes. So next week we are going to be reading a very, very different manga. We
Do
are
we
going
want
to
them
be.
to guess? Do we want them to guess?
I don't even know. What are we reading?
Oh yeah, read the description and we'll guess.
Oh yeah, read
Yeah,
the
just read the description, because I have no
Yeah.
idea. what
Yeah,
we're reading.
we'll read this really quick.
I don't have my glasses. Oh, they're on the table. I'm not wearing any pants.
You're
Oh.
fine. I'm not wearing pants.
Go get your glasses, man.
No,
10
he's
out of
not
10
wearing
glasses.
pants.
He's honest.
Hey, come on. It's Australia. It's like 33 degrees at the moment. I'm hot. Okay.
Okay, hit us.
By day, Kusakabe Marin is an ordinary high school girl with more than her share of problems. But by night, she is a Kamikaze Kaitou Jeanne, the reincarnation of Joan of Arc. Her mission, to hunt down demon-possessed paintings and exorcise the evil spirits. Too bad, accompanying this mission puts her into conflict with the authorities, who view her as a mysterious stranger vandalizing works of art. With only the help of an angel in training, Finn, she must survive high school during the day and battle evil by night.
Yay! It says in the you guys, if you can't get it, it's in the description.
It is in the description.
Kamikaze Kaitou Jeanne is what we are reading. It is a shoujo magical girl manga, very different than Berserk. So we are reading chapters 1 through 15. So they're nice and short. I think they're pretty short chapters. I think they're like 30 pages, 30 to 40.
Gotta love magical girls.
So, yes.
I've never read the manga, but I watched the anime, and it's hard for me to get into magical girl anime actually, and I really loved this anime, so I'm so excited to read the manga.
I love the manga. It was one of my favorites growing up. It was great. So that's what we are reading next week.
Magical girl.
Be prepared for fucking huge eyes.
Giant
Like-
eyes and flowy hair everywhere.
Big
The
eyes.
best kind of eyes.
Duh. Okay, so that is what we are reading next week. I am HappiLeeErin. Let's shout out our stuff super duper fast. I am HappiLeeErin of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I do anime, manga reviews, all sorts of things. I talk about Kuroko no Basuke a lot. I also have Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, my anime list, Crunchyroll profile. All of that fun stuff is all HappiLeeErin. I forgot my name. I forgot my name.
Go into our subreddit and you'll find all
Yes,
of it.
go to our subreddit, reddit.com/r/MangaPod. But yeah, so that's my stuff. Anybody want to go next? We'll have our guest go last so you can check out his stuff for sure.
Okay, I am Dodger of youtube.com/presshardtocontinue, where I do gaming news and also gameplay videos. And I have another channel called youtube.com/dexterity-bonus, where I do and drink coffee and talk about my day, and it's fascinating. On Tumblr, I am dexbonus.tumblr.com. On Twitter, I am at dexbonus. At Instagram, I'm at dexbonus. I have a hummingbird, but I don't know how to use it yet, so I'm not going to tell you to go
I'll
there.
teach you how to use it.
Okay.
I already linked it in chat. Oops, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No!
Take it
But,
back.
Yeah, so that's me. Come hang out. We have fun. So, mwah.
Hey guys, what's up?
Uh-huh.
I'm Yokurama. You can find me on YouTube/Yokurama Game Talk.
He doesn't talk about games. Boom.
I don't. Never.
God damn it, Yoku.
Don't expect that. And you can also find me on youtube.com/Yokurama News, where I have been doing a lot of videos lately about the fall anime. So if you're interested in a bunch of first impressions, check that out. A bunch more on the way, actually, because there's like a million more out that I have yet to watch.
I know,
And
right?
Twitter, at Yokurama Talks. And man, I forget. I think Tumblr is just Yokurama. It's just why couldn't I just done like one name for everything?
It's all on the subreddit, so
Yeah, it's on the
everything's
subreddit.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dazzler?
Okay. I am Dr. Dazzler. I'm linking everything in the chat right now, so you can find me at Fine for Nippon, where I do anime reviews and news and stuff like that. I'm doing lots of first impressions as well, and it is absolutely fun and amazing, and it's lots of hard work, and I'm really enjoying it. You can find out what to watch this season, because there's lots of brand new shows, and it's fantastic, except, you know, like freaking Infinite Stratos. Don't watch Infinite Stratos, it sucks.
Job, man.
Anyway, Infinite Stratos is bullshit. Anyway, you can also find me on YouTube.
Fight.
You can also find me on The Dr. Dazzler, where I do unboxings as well as other stuff, videos that are awesome, that should be coming soon. I also am on Twitter at Dr. Dazzler, right there, yes. And I tweet a lot. You can tweet me, I'll tweet you back, and we'll have awesome chats about anime and how awesome Mio is as a waifu. And on Hummingbird, I am just Dr. Dazzler. Boom.
Yay!
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm Alex, aka Octopimp. You can find me on youtube.com/MasterYogi. There it is right there. Yay! Oh, thank you.
Oh, we both did it!
Yay. Oh, side note.
Whoopsies!
I totally forgot that I installed a mod on my Chrome that has a word filter on it. So I replaced all anime with Japanese super cartoons. So I'm like, why is everybody in chat saying Japanese super cartoons? Oh, right, because I did that.
That's
So,
really
That's
So,
really great.
anyway, and then my Twitter is @TheRealOctopimp, and my Tumblr is octosmagiccastle.tumblr.com. That's a lot of where I interact with people, so message me on Tumblr, say hi. I post anime parodies about shirtless swimming guys.
I love it. They're great.
Thank you. Yeah, but thank you for watching me. Yay, thank you for having me on the podcast. It was super fun. Yeah!
Thank you so much for coming. We had so much fun having you be our guest.
nice to have you,
You were
man.
great.
You were great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next time wear the helmet though. Next time
Oh,
wear that.
next time the
Yeah.
whole time?
No,
No,
it is
no,
what
no,
it's
your
called.
helmet.
Next
No, your
time.
helmet.
Real
oh,
helmet.
Okay, yeah, that one.
Wait, you have to wear that till we sign off.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for
Never
joining.
sign off.
never
We're
end.
never signing off.
never stopping.
Thank you
can't
guys.
stop.
We won't stop.
We won't stop.
Can't you see it's we?
Thank you guys so much for joining us for MangaPod. We love you so much. We will be
My
back
party
next
with you when we
next
want.
week, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, twitch.tv/HappiLeeErin. We will never be stopping. We love you all so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.